Hello, and welcome to this new episode of Norwich Theatre Talks. On this episode, I'm delighted that my guest is, I think, one of the UK's favourite dancers. After many series on Strictly, she then became a presenter of Strictly It Takes Two. She's written a book, and now, for the first time, she's starring in a large-scale musical, Chicago, playing Roxie Hart, that's touring the country and coming here to Norwich in July. It's my absolute pleasure to welcome Janette Manrara. Janette, welcome to Norwich Theatre Talks. It's so lovely to chat to you. How are you doing?
I'm really good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, we are also good here in Norwich. We can't wait to welcome you back because you're playing Roxie Hart in Chicago, which, on top of everything else you do, must make you one of the busiest women in showbiz right now.
Yeah, I think the biggest job of my life at the moment is being a mother. And that's priority number one. And then right up right next to it is being Roxie Hart now. I mean, this is a lifelong dream come true for me to play her. She's so interesting and fun and crazy and just yeah, I love the show. I've loved the musical for so many years. I've seen it on Broadway. I've seen it twice in the West End. Obsessed with the film growing up. So to be playing it now, it really does feel surreal. It's amazing.
It is a phenomenal show, and people keep coming back again and again and again. It's about the characters, isn't it? And they're such big characters, and a great kind of female-led show as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that I've always loved about it. I like that. I know she, right at the beginning of the show, we know she murders someone. But it's about two women who are not necessarily perfect in any way, who have done some pretty bad things in their lives, but still want it all and still want to chase big dreams and kind of get away with life a little bit. And they're not the typical leads, normally you get like the girl next door kind of leads in musical theater, but these are basically two villainous women who are leading the show, which is always, I mean, it's timeless for this to have been created when it was created and still be so relevant today. It's just a testament to how good of a musical it is.
At 100%. And I guess it's quite special. This is a big moment for you, isn't it? Kind of taking on a role like this. You've done musical theatre before, but this is a new chapter for you, as well as being a mum. On top of this, you're now treading the boards.
Yeah, I mean it's my first ever musical. I did do musical theater when I was a kid. That's kind of how I started. So the first musical I ever did as a child was Chorus Line. I was about 12 years old and I did the whole hat choreography and everything and I did Cats and we did West Side Story. We did a couple different ones. I ended up doing a version of Chicago with my dance studio later when I was about 19. And I actually I played Velma in the Cell Block Tango scene.
Okay.
So to now be doing the actual show, if you would have told me that I would be starting a musical theater career at 41 with Roxie Hart, I would never have believed you. It's amazing.
But it is a really special moment, and I guess for you it is that departure point because you come from dance, dance is in your bones, and then you were on Strictly, you then presented, you've written a book, what can't Jeanette do? That's the question.
Well, I can't remember anything. Thank God I remember lines and steps because my all my friends and my family call me Dory because I have bad memory for things, all things life. No, I think I was having this conversation actually with my sister last night. We had a little bit of a catch up, and I think I like challenging myself. I love trying new things. I'm a creative person, and I think I don't like putting myself in a box. I don't like being just one thing. I like dipping my hands into lots of different things, and if it's something that I'm curious about or excites me or challenges me, I'm here for it. I never want to be the best of the best. I always want to be the one that's like getting better at something.
That takes quite a lot of bravery, doesn't it? To kind of.
Yeah.
And I read something you talked about, back when you started doing Strictly and the other shows like that kind of sense of, should you be there? Has that kind of surfaced again for you making this transition? Because it really does take bravery to do it, doesn't it? To step out of your lane, you know?
Yeah, you mentioned the book there, and in my book, Tiny Dancer, Big World, I talk a lot about how I suffered with imposter syndrome when I first joined Strictly, and it kind of took over a lot of my kind of confidence and my, even my desire to go back into Strictly at one point. I was nervous about even coming back because I thought I just wasn't good enough or capable enough to do the job. And I think through the years, I have done so much work on myself. I've got my well-being studies that I've been doing, and just a lot of reflecting. And I think working on myself and doing a lot of personal discovery has now given me the tools to be better capable to deal with the situation I'm in now in Chicago. I am nowhere near the best singer in the show. I'm definitely not been training to the level that some of the cast have in this cast, but to feel their support, to feel inspired by them versus afraid or feeling like I shouldn't be or I don't belong, just kind of really owning my space. I think that came through a lot of working on myself, and now I take a lot of the things that, like I said, challenges that come into my life and new experiences and new things. I take them all like a moment to grow, to develop, to learn more, to explore my creative mind in a way that I haven't done before. And now I'm like, I've got all the singing tips, I've got all the different advice, all the different, I don't lollies that you need to suck on to help you with with your vocal cords. And it's so amazing because I'm learning from them. And I think I am a student of life in general. I love to learn and try things. And that imposter side, the thought that I was never going to be good enough, or that I was never going to be just enough, period. That part now is still in the back of my mind, but I'm much better able to deal with it now.
Absolutely, and I've started reading your book, and it's really really inspiring. That sense that you don't need things around you to find fulfillment. You can own that yourself. And that's such a strong message, and particularly in a kind of creative world in which we exist, where you are judged by others all the time, aren't you? And you take the knocks, you take the blows. But you got to get up and carry on and find the fulfillment to carry on. It's such a strong message.
I think the entertainment industry is beautiful because as a creative, you are able to connect with people through art, whether that's dancing, acting, singing, painting, photography, or even directing, script writing, being an author. Any kind of creative field is wonderful in the entertainment world because you connect with people through something other than normal conversation. But with that also comes a lot of, criticism and judging, because there is no one way system for anything. Somebody can like the color yellow, the other person likes the color purple. And art is very kind of personal. It's a personal taste for different things. And I think it's important that you will be told no, you will be told, that somebody likes this person more than you, or this thing more than that thing. And it's about being authentic in who you are, being authentic in your art, being authentic in your creative spirit, and just letting that part of you fly, knowing that whatever it is that you're doing it wholeheartedly and because it fulfills you more than anyone else.
Absolutely. That's the message. That brings me on. Can we talk about Strictly very, very briefly? Very
Whatever you
briefly.
want, I'm here for you, Stephen.
It kind of struck me that you did quite a number of series on Strictly, didn't you, back to back over that period of time where I guess the show it had found success. It was doing amazing things with dance and getting people to kind of connect with dance in new ways. But it was kind of changing, wasn't it? And moving from the quite traditional form that it did at the beginning, pushing boundaries, bringing in new dances. That must have been an amazing period of getting to go creatively wild, I suppose.
Yeah, I think I was really excited when I joined Strictly because I felt like bringing on, I came on with Ali Ash, with Kevin Clifton, and then Anya Garnis and Iveta Lukashut, who are no longer on the show anymore. But, Ali Ash and Kevin and I, we ended up staying for quite a few years. And we always felt like when the five of us joined, there seemed to have been a bit of a shift on the show. They really wanted to hone in on different styles of dancing, to bring in the voice for other forms of dance that maybe don't necessarily have the platform that Strictly has for ballroom and Latin. And now we get couples choice, you get Charleston, you get Argentine tango, you get salsa. And it's just so wonderful to see that like the Strictly bubble has now increased to all kinds of styles, which is beautiful for us creatives, really. And then you also get, now we've got same-sex partners, and that's become beautiful to watch as well, because we've changed that conversation. It's not always necessarily just a male and a female dancing together. It's more about the leader and the follower and the connection between two people, and when two people come together to dance. And again, I feel very privileged to be part of a TV show that celebrates dance in all its forms and in all its colors, really. And you know, I think one of my most proudest moments of the show was we had Rose Ailing Ellis, who won the show with Giovanni, and she actually changed the law. You know, she made BSL be considered an actual language, and that was because of her presence on Strictly and what she did on Strictly, and how much, you know, Strictly kind of changed her life and gave her a platform to speak her truth. And you know, I feel extremely humbled to be a part of the show and to have been a part of that kind of those transitional years. And I say it, and it's so true. Every single year, Strictly just gets better. And you think how? Because how? But it does. It really does. Because everybody in that team is pushing to just give the best of themselves, whether that's on the production side or the dancers or the judges or the hosts or makeup and hair, whatever. Everybody wants to give it their best. And that's why you get such a great program.
I think that's absolutely right, and you know that it has transformed dance as an art form. You know, we kind of see it in live theatre, and you know, you guys who've been pros on the show do tours to packed audiences. You know, that's new people coming into the theatre, you know, wanting to go that extra mile and you know connect with dance, and you know that the range of people you see coming to sit in auditoria is so different nowadays
Yes.
because of the power of you know an art form that doesn't use language, you know, and that's certainly over recent years. That's what Strictly's proved so beautiful.
Aliash and I, we always say, because Aliash and I do our own tours. We're actually about to go into our own tour, A Night to Remember, soon. I'm a busy girl, Stephen, because I'm doing Chicago in the middle of my own tour, and then I go back to
You think
Chicago.
Aviash must be like ships in the night?
Yeah, but you know, we always say we feel so grateful for the UK audiences because I don't know what it is about this place. I think maybe because of the form of social dance that has existed throughout history here so much that people have a certain level of appreciation for dance, specifically ballroom and Latin, that you just don't get anywhere else in the world. I mean, you have Blackpool here, which is the home of ballroom and Latin. And so for us dancers to be able to headline our own shows, or now me, as an example, right now in Chicago, coming in to play Roxie Hart as the celebrity guest because of the platform that I had on Strictly, and that's because of the appreciation and love that the UK audiences have for dance. It really blows my mind and makes me, it just fills me with so much gratitude and so much humility for what I do, and just makes me happy to be on stage every single night now or whether my own show.
Absolutely, and I guess that's the joy for you stepping into a role like Roxy is it's you know you keep dancing, you know, it's but you know and that's amazing. But is it like with the rest of the cast? They're like, okay, off she goes, she's going to do her bit now. You know, there's the dancer.
No, they are. I mean, all I kept hearing rumors from everybody in the cast before I joined was that they were all really, really excited that they were going to have a Roxy Hart that was a dancer because, you know, I think Roxy does do Me and My Baby, and she does Hot Honey Rag at the end, and she does a little bit throughout the show, loads. And to come in and kind of really bring the dance element into Roxy Hart was really fun for me, and I think fun for the cast, you know. And the boys that I do Me and My Baby with, they get really excited because we get to like push the boundaries just a little bit more on the choreography with that one.
That's what I was going to ask. If you are a dancer with the amount of experience that you do, then you know do you get to take those kind of liberties? Because you know you like
Well,
hear
it
about great.
depends. I mean, I think the magic of Chicago is that it literally has not changed in 50 years. Very few, you know, like only few, I mean, handful of musicals have maintained exactly what they were from when they were created. And I think, when people come to watch me in Chicago, I always like kind of forewarn them, you're not getting Strictly Come Dancing version style dancing Janette. It's not about that. It's about, I find so much respect in the choreography, for example, that I have to do for Hot Honey Rag at the end of the show with DJ, who plays Velma with me, because this is the same exact choreography, basically, that was created on Chita Rivera and Gwen Vernon by Fosse 50 years ago. And we're doing those steps. And like, there is a magic of like maintaining the level of detail. Like, I got notes on which way my finger goes first. Does it go right, left, or left, right? Like, that matters. And so I think I feel privileged and honored to kind of keep that element of the show, that kind of traditional fussy classic style, not really, being afraid to stick to their guns when the world of dance is ever evolving, and keeping what Fosse did completely still alive today.
Yeah, and you're in Chicago. You're touring in Chicago. You'll be with us here in Norwich in July. You are one of the busiest people in show business at the moment. You've got Strictly It Takes Two. You got Ali Asher touring. Where next? Where next? I was trying to dream up. If I was to cast you in your next musical, where would you go with that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, my two favorite musicals of all time have always been Chicago and West Side Story. Now, if West Side Story,
Heritage, don't you? You have Cuban heritage.
yes, so I'm Cuban and I'm from the East Coast of the USA. So not New York City, but Miami. Also, my parents were immigrants and they moved over to Miami from Cuba, and their story is quite intense. If you read the book, you'll hear a little bit more about their story because it's wild. And so I think there's this, I have a massive connection with the story of West Side Story, but I would love to play Anita, just because the dancing that Anita gets to do and the songs that Anita gets to sing, and if that ever comes back, I'm gonna be knocking on the door begging to give me an opportunity to audition.
Let me text a few fellow theatre producers now. Let's see what we can make happen.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you are playing Roxie Hart. You're with us, and you've got an amazing cast with you in Norwich. You've got Sunita as Mama Morton. Amazing.
Anita is lovely. She and I have did a week of shows together now. Because at the moment we've got Brenda Edwards playing Mama Morton, but Sunita will be doing Norwich. And it's so nice to get Sunita in, because Sunita's version of Mama is so different from Brenda's version of Mama, and it's great for me because I get a completely different dynamic on the show, which changes how I react and how I act with her on stage. And so every night feels kind of slightly different, which is gorgeous. But yeah, I have to give a special mention though to Jalanga Scott, who is my Velma. We have created a huge bond because she's the same age as I am. We are both mothers. We are both missing our children, but trying to kind of remind ourselves that we are teaching them really valuable life lessons by showing them their mother living their dream out on stage, and to have her support and for her to have my support. We've really become very close over the last few weeks, and when we go out every night to do Nowadays and Hot Honey Rag, we have to look at each other from across the stage, and you can just feel this buzz between her and I. Like, it's a deep friendship to get that I get to share with her, and we get to do this together as moms. um and so it's a wonderful experience. And right now we've gotten Dan Burton is playing Billy Flynn with me. And again, he did Chicago not as a lead. He was ensemble a few times. So for him, it's been a huge dream come true to come back to Chicago and play Billy Flynn. And he's been beautiful. But yeah, it's just the whole cast. If I go down the entire cast of the show, every single one of them has inspired me in some shape or form. And some of them could be my children, I'll be honest with you. Some of them like are in their early 20s. I'm like, my God. But I look at them and I just think, my God, the talent in the UK, the talent of what we are going to be getting for the future generations of musical theater is just beautiful. It's so wonderful to see what's gonna come. If this is what they're doing now, with when I watch Cell Block Tango from the side of the wing every night, I'm just in awe of those girls. I mean, nice women, really, but I just, they're amazing. The whole cast is amazing. And then, not, I mean, I don't want to like forget them, but the band, this band is you know, to have them on the stage playing with us, they are kind of another character in themselves in the show because they're a huge part of the show. It's amazing.
And you know, Janette, I think let's say you are an inspiration as well. You know, to have you know had the career that you've had, and now, as you say, a mum, you know, early 40s, setting out a new chapter. That's so inspiring for people as well. And Chicago, you know, is a real favourite, but it's about who comes back. And I know that everybody's so excited to see you in it. And thank you for sitting down and having a chat with me. I can't wait to welcome you to Norwich in July.
Me neither. I can't wait to be there.
Thank you so much to Janette Manrara for joining me on Norwich Theatre Talks, and to you guys for downloading and listening once again. We love to hear from you, so keep commenting, keep feeding back, let us know what you'd like us to chat about and who you'd like us to chat to. And I will see you on the next episode.